Okay, so the distance from 0. So that would tell us that if we had the absolute value of x equals, let's say, 4, where could we be on the number line? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. This says that the distance from 0 is 4. So if you think about this number line, this distance is 4, and to the left of 0 is 4 units away. So it's both. So that means we're going to be looking for 2 answers when we do these absolute value equations. Because we can be to the right of 0, and we can be to the left of 0. All right, so let's look at some examples here. We're going to first do an evaluate problem. Evaluate means that you're going to substitute a value in, and then you're going to do order of operations. So we're going to replace x with a 4 in this case. You're going to think of those absolute bars as a grouping symbol, like a parenthesis. So we want to do the things in the absolute bars first. No, go ahead. Because it's absolute value, so that means we're going to end up with, we have to change it to distance, not just the number. So which part are we going to do first? Are we going to do 6 minus 2? Or are we going to do 2 times 4? 2 times 4. Okay, so we're going to have 6 minus 8. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. But it's in absolute bars, so we have to be careful. How far is negative 2 from 0? 2 units. So it's 5 plus 2, which is 7. So our answer would be 7. Yes? When it comes out of the absolute bars, yeah. I'll say that again. Always, if you're evaluating, it always comes out positive, because distance is always positive. Okay, like if you drove backwards in your car, your mileage will still go up, even though you're going backwards. Same idea here. You're still covering distance. Okay. Using absolute values. This one's a solving problem. Let me raise it up a little bit. First, we have to make sure that the absolute bars are standing alone, that there's nothing added or subtracted on the outside or multiplied on the outside of the absolute bars. So what this says is that the distance is equal. Figure out what number line, or it could be a negative 8 on. is equal to negative 8. So you do have to do both. You do need to check to make sure that check our solution by evaluating there. Okay, so you can either do that on your paper or you can do it in your head. Okay, so if you put 5 back in for y, 5 plus 3 is 8. How far is 8 from 0? 8, so it works. If we put negative 11 in here, negative 11 plus 3 is negative 8, and the absolute value is 8. So they both work. They're both valid answers. Get rid of this plus 5. So how do we get rid of this? So we're going to subtract 5, okay? I'm going to keep my bars. Okay. We are supposed to do the thing on the inside, but there's a variable, so I can't really add 6 minus 4t because they're not alike. Okay? All right, we're going to make 2 equations because individually. Let me ask you this question before we go to solve it. At this step here where it says 6 minus 4t in the absolute bars equals negative 5, what does that statement mean? These absolute bars mean distance, right? So this says that the distance from 0 is negative 5. Where on earth is that on the number line? Well, if this is 0 and I go to 5, is that distance negative 5? Oh, you can't have negative distance. So if you get absolute bars equals a negative, then there is no answer. It's a no solution. Here it goes. It was 8 plus y in the bars. Okay. So again, we're going to make sure that the absolute bars are isolated. We don't have anything hanging on the end. We don't have adding or multiplying to it, right? It's already isolated for us. So we're ready to make our 2 equations. So 8 plus y is equal to 2y minus 3. And 8 plus y equals negative 2y minus 3. We're going to solve individually. It's the one that you took yesterday. We ran out of time yesterday. So you're fine. Lexi, what would I do next? Okay, what do you want me to add? Good. So we get 11 is one possible answer, and then we're going to go over here and do this one. Oh, this one looks more complicated. I got this negative here. So I need to distribute that negative. Yeah, it's like a -1, yes. So -1 times 2 is -2y. -1 times -3, is that positive? Good. +3. Now we can solve it. How come this did? Because it's a -1 times a -3. A negative times a negative makes positive. Yes? Here? I did, yeah, I subtracted 2 minus 1. Why? All right. Is everybody okay now with how I got that distributing? All right, I need to get the y's on the same side of the equal sign. How do I do that? Add 2y, okay. That works. Both sides of the equal sign. I'm going to subtract 8. This one turns out negative. Get -5. So what does what is it? 0.6. Okay, I'm going to leave it at the fraction. -5/3. I divide it by 3 to get this to cancel. Okay. All right. If we took those answers and we plugged them back in, we'd have to check to make sure that they would both be valid. Okay.